I'm going to wait just a moment. We have people sitting down, so. All right. Well, welcome everyone. I'm grateful you are here in person, and for those of you on Zoom, I'm waving to you. So I'm Wendy, I'm your worship assistant here today, and I'll be filling in some of Reverend Kathy's parts that she normally does. So, Unity North Spiritual Center is an inclusive community, and we welcome and accept all people. We're part of the greater Unity movement with worldwide headquarters just southwest of Kansas City. Yeah, all right. Sorry, I thought I was missing something. But, and Unity publishes the Daily Word, which we read every Sunday, and has been focused on prayer and has been holding continuous prayers on their campus for 135 years. Prayer is the heart and soul of Unity teachings. Reverend Kathy is actually recovering from kind of a surprise surgery earlier this week, and we are fortunate to have our licensed Unity teacher, Rhonda Italiano, here today to lead us in our meditation and share the next phase of our Easter lesson. Thank you, Rhonda. Our prayer chaplain today is Nancy Helvig. Her number will be displayed in the announcements, and she is one of our producers today, too. If you're in the sanctuary, make sure you reach out to her for prayers. If you're remote, call her, and she will pray with you. We also are grateful for our service producers, Tracy Roloff and Nancy Helvig, and then our musicians. We have Amy and Adams, personal favorite. All right, thank you. All right. Now join me as we state our vision and mission statements together. All right, please join me in our vision. Centered in prayer, we create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance. And our mission statement, celebrating spirit, exploring truths, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, and serving community. And below you can see our values that we hold here at Unity North Spiritual Center. And now, Amy and Adams will lead us in our opening song.
Please rise. I've got peace like the river. I've got peace like the river. I've got peace like the river in my soul. I've got peace like the river. I've got peace like the river. I've got peace like the river in my soul. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. My soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got love like a mountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got love like a mountain. I've got joy like a mountain in my soul. In my soul.
For some of us, we got to do some aerobics too. Oh, thank you so much, Amy and Mark. That's one of my favorites. We appreciate you sharing our musical gift with us today. And good morning, everyone. This is the time in our service when we greet one another. So if anyone's here for the first time, we welcome you to our service. If you're here in person and would like to know about Unity, please see me, Rhonda, or one of our ushers, and we can answer any questions you may have. For new visitors online, if you wish, you could share your contact information in the chat with Unity North, which goes directly to us and remains private. We do not share that with anyone. And we welcome you all wherever you are on your spiritual journey. At this time, we take a moment for prayer requests. Let's start by sitting up straight with our feet on the floor as we take a breath or two to further center ourselves. We started that when we were greeting each other, acknowledging our presence here. So as you breathe in, bring peace, love, and joy within. And releasing stress, worry, and fear on your exhales. And let's do that again. Bring peace, love, and joy within. Release stress, worry, and fear. Instead of saying our requests out loud, we invite you to speak a name or prayer silently in the sanctuary or aloud in the privacy of your home. We're holding these requests in silence. We give thanks in advance for answered prayer. We say, thank you, God. We do have another prayer request that someone would like all of us to hold for him. This is from Nuri Hasumani, and he would like prayers for successful outcome and speedy recovery from his knee replacement surgery. That will be April 22nd. Please hold him in your prayers during this time, before, during surgery, and after, during his recovery. We see the healing light within Nuri, working with the medical team, using all the divine guidance they all have for a perfect outcome. And so it is. Amen. Please remain centered and still as I read today's daily word. And for April 13th, 2025, which is Palm Sunday, I celebrate the divine presence within. Today is Palm Sunday, the commemoration of Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem that symbolizes the awakening of the Christ awareness in humankind. Those who followed Jesus into Jerusalem shouted, "Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord." Imagining this joyous scene, I feel inspired to follow Jesus' actions and express more and more of the love, the peace, the joy, and the light of my Christ nature. As Holy Week begins, I open my heart and mind to more fully embody and share the Christ of my being. I feel blessed knowing others around the world are doing the same. Together, we bring peace and healing to the world and to one another, fulfilling the promise of Jesus. From John 12, verse 13. So they took branches of palm trees and went out to meet him, shouting, "Hosanna, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord." Today's daily word for April 13th, Palm Sunday. I accept the divine presence within.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on its face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on His face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Thank you. We're going to begin by relaxing the body. It is easy to allow busy, hurried, rushing here and there to become the norm in our lives. We are going to start off by making a conscious choice to slow down and relax for a few minutes. Let your eyes gently close. Do a scan of your body. Start at the top of your head, moving downward. Pay attention to areas that are tight or achy. Where does your body need attention today? You have some help. You have some support. Keep going until you get to your feet. Breathe. Think about the chair beneath you, supporting your back and your legs. Feel that support. Rest for a moment in the knowledge that you don't have to do life by yourself. You have some help. Now bring your awareness to your chest. Think about your heart center. Feel your own unique heartbeat for a moment. Imagine your breath slowing down and getting a bit deeper. Count to 5 as you inhale. Then count to 5 again as you exhale that stale air from your body. Then find a comfortable breathing rhythm that works for you. Bring to mind now a time or place or a feeling of deep appreciation, care, love, or gratitude. Think of a time recently or long ago when you felt that depth of love for someone, when you really appreciated something that someone did for you. Bring that memory to mind now. Spend some time in that memory. Absorb that feeling of care and appreciation. Rest in that memory for a moment. Let that sensation grow and fill your heart space. Now let that sensation expand throughout your body. Let it flow out from your chest. If it helps, imagine a warm glow or a white light in your chest that pulses as you breathe. Imagine that warm white glow in your heart space, pulsing with your breath, slowly expanding outward from your heart space. See that warm white light move to areas that need a bit more attention this morning. Sometimes it helps to place your hand over your heart or on the space that you are imagining receiving that healing. I'm going to pause here and allow some time in the silence for that warmth, that white light to move where it needs to go for each of us individually. If your mind wanders a little bit, that's okay. Just bring your attention back to your heart and your breath. Go back to that scan you did when we first started our meditation time. Make sure that white, warm light has spread to the areas that needed some care this morning. See them marinating in that white, healing light. Return your attention once again to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out, deeply and with intention. As you release that air, visually see the stale, no longer useful energy leaving your body. Count silently to yourself as you breathe in and out. You made a choice today to take care of yourself, to tend to you. Take that sense of peace and healing with you as you go about your day. Feel free to come back and do this again throughout the week ahead as needed. And remember to take care of you.
This is one of the great hymns. It's even in the songbook.
So you can join us if you'd like to.
Please do, because we aren't going to play guitars. I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me is falling, but he bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
And you ended up right on pitch.
Thank you. A cappella is not easy. That was beautiful. Thank you for leading that. So we are in week 4 of a lesson series called The Easter Journey, in which we have been correlating the stages in the life of Jesus with the stages of our own spiritual enlightenment. Week 1 was his baptism, or the awakening of the self. Week 2 was his temptation, or the purification of the self. Week 3 was his transfiguration, or the illumination of the self. And this week the lesson is about his crucifixion, or the dark night of the self. This week is also Holy Week, which begins today with Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday represents the day Jesus went into Jerusalem, not like a conquering warrior, as he was tempted to do to claim his messiahship, but one humble, riding on a donkey. The mood was festive and people were celebrating. They spread palm branches before him. So entering Jerusalem, Charles Filmer, co-founder of Unity, said that Jerusalem, the city of David, symbolizes the love center in human consciousness, located within the heart chakra. This is the habitation of peace and love within. So entering Jerusalem on Palm Sunday is entering more deeply into the heart and into the peace and love that sustains us, even amidst the ups and downs of life. And love and peace are certainly needed, not only through this intense period of Holy Week, but any time we are buffeted about by the polarities of life. During that last week, Jesus went to Jerusalem at the time of Passover to make a final appeal to the Jewish people to transform themselves and prepare the kingdom, queendom within, though he probably did not use the word queendom. So Jesus was baptized, tempted, transfigured, and then Holy Week came along. And by the end of it, he was betrayed, crucified, and resurrected. And this Holy Week, symbolizing Jesus' last week on earth, can give us comfort, knowing that dawn follows the greatest darkness. and that life is an up and down process that we all go through, even until the final enlightenment occurs. But we are invited into a state of peace and love amidst what feels like the eternal roller coaster. Ben Hayden tells of a group of 4-year-olds who were gathered in a Sunday school class in Chattanooga. The teacher looked at the class and asked this question: "Does anyone know what today is?" A little 4-year-old girl held up her hand and said, "Yes, today is Palm Sunday." The teacher exclaimed, "That's fantastic, that's wonderful. Now, does anyone know what next Sunday is?" The same little girl held up her hand and said, "Yes, next Sunday is Easter Sunday." Once again, the teacher said, "That's great. Now, does anyone know what makes next Sunday Easter?" The same little girl responded and said, "Yes, next Sunday is Easter because Jesus rose from the grave." And before the teacher could congratulate her, she kept on talking and said, "But if he sees his shadow, he has to go back in for 6 more weeks." Palm Sunday starts out on a high note when Jesus enters into Jerusalem, the heart center. And by Friday of Holy Week, there is a crucifixion, which was one of the most cruel means of putting people to death. In Unity, we speak of crucifixion metaphysically as well. Charles Fillmore said, "Crucifixion is an experience in which we let go of some cherished aspect of our personality or of our personal life as we have known it, in order to unfold more of our spiritual potential. It often feels very painful to us, even if we recognize how necessary it is to go through it." Crucifixion refers to that inner conflict and upheaval that often occurs in consciousness when we resist letting go of our old ways of thinking. There is not a person here who has not experienced crucifixion, because it is the suffering that we undergo in our journey to wholeness. Many of us resist looking at all aspects of ourselves, especially when we think what we think of as the dark places. Often people simply want to avoid crucifixion and go right to the uplifting experience of resurrection. I would certainly prefer it myself, as I'm sure you would also, for it is a natural human reaction. Yet to fully experience this spiritual journey, we must enter into the deep regions of our consciousness. We must move within from the head to the heart, and from the light into the darkness. All of us must face our inner darkness head on with courage and fortitude. Growing spiritually includes an acceptance of the wholeness that we are. We come to know that we are not just beings of light, but beings of both lightness and darkness. To become whole and complete, we recognize and integrate all aspects and facets of who we are into consciousness. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung once said, "We do not become enlightened by focusing on beings of light, but by making our darkness conscious." Matthew 16:24 reads, "Then Jesus told his disciples, 'If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up the cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it.'" In order to find our new life, we must first lose our old life through the experience of crucifixion, crossing out the false thoughts and beliefs of the ego. In the mystical process, it is often called the dark night of the soul, or the dark night of the self. We may experience the dark night through a betrayal, through loss of a job or marriage, through a serious medical diagnosis, or something that plunges us into deep despair and a loss of joy. Certainly with COVID, we have all been in a collective dark night. The wounding in the dark night experience allows for the opening of ourselves. It creates the holes that make us holy. At a certain point, one sees beyond the pain of suffering to a higher life purpose, and then one becomes capable of forgiving the wound, forgiving the betrayal. All the great myths portray wounding. Jean Houston said Jesus must have his crucifixion, otherwise no resurrection. He becomes just an interesting teacher without crucifixion. Dionysus must be childish and attract titanic enemies. Prometheus must steal fire from heaven and have his liver eaten. Job gets boils, Adam loses his rib, Odin trades his eye for wisdom. Every story has, at its core, extraordinary wounding, suffering, everyone. The Buddha almost dies and almost destroys himself before he wakes. And Jesus is in agony on the cross. When we become conscious in our suffering, we awaken to compassion and forgiveness. We realize that our pain is part of a universal story, and we use it to transform ourselves and to help others. So we become a light bearer, showing the way, explaining the roadmap to others who suffer. And then our wounds have meaning. Then our wounds become sacred wounds. Through the dark night of the soul experiences, for a while, others may have to tell us that we are okay and that there is light ahead, because there are those times when we just cannot see it for ourselves. In our own confusion or grief, we resist letting go of the past. We may want to do things the same old way, but we cannot because we are changing. A new person is being born, emerging from the tomb, and we have not been there before. So it seems that sometimes we need people who have to lend us their roadmaps. Jesus was such a one. He provides a roadmap even today. After the transfiguration and illumination that we talked about last week, as one stage on the path of Jesus, there is a betrayal leading up to the crucifixion. This took place in the Garden of Gethsemane at night. His disciples first went to sleep and he was alone. And that is what happens to us in the dark night. We must find our way alone until we can fully surrender to God and say, "Thy will be done." When the soldiers arrived, Judas, the disciple of Jesus, betrayed him with a kiss, which was a prearranged signal. Often betrayal is part of the spiritual path, for this entire journey is about the death and transformation of the ego, that fearful part of us that keeps us believing we are separate from God. It must be crucified, crossed out, and reintegrated so that the new spiritual consciousness of compassionate love can be born. And that is resurrection. To use adversity as a stimulus for growth, one can ask, now that I am facing this challenge, how can I respond in the most empowering way possible? How can I take this unwanted experience and use it as an opportunity to grow and transform? When difficulties are faced in this way, miracles happen. After all, it is said when we are punched full of holes, we become holy. And in all challenges, there is opportunity for prayer. Theologian Matthew Fox speaks of the dark night of the soul as an aspect of what he calls the via negativa, the path of the feminine, and also darkness. He claims it includes not only the dark night of the soul, but also silence and stillness and deep wisdom. Someone said, it sounds like the via negativa is hell. That is not correct. But isn't that how we think in the Western world about light and darkness? Light is all good and darkness is all bad. I like what Mark Twain said. I don't like to commit myself about heaven and hell, you see. I have friends in both places. Billy Graham once described heaven as a family reunion that never ends. A reporter responded to this, "What must hell possibly be like? Home videos of the same reunion?" One more, heaven and hell joke. I've heard this before, I think. The Reverend Billy Graham told of a time early in his career when he arrived in a small town to preach a sermon. Wanting to mail a letter, he asked a young boy where the post office was. When the boy told him, Dr. Graham thanked him and said, "If you come to the Baptist church this evening, you can hear me telling everyone how to get to heaven." "I don't think I'll be there," the boy said. "You don't even know your way to the post office." The via negativa is not hell, but it does include the realm of suffering, the dark night, and the shadow. And we experience it when we are in a healing mode, when we are in the birth canal, waiting for birth to occur. It is helps if I can talk. It is darkest before the dawn, and then grace comes calling. Those are the times when grace may appear in the form of others who hold us and comfort us and hold the light for us, or in the form of a dream or hearing the right words at the right moment, because the dawn always comes. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is an end to the via negativa and its dark night. We must be willing to face the shadow and name it, just as co-founder of Unity, Myrtle Fillmore, did when she healed herself of tuberculosis. She did not ignore it, she went into it. She listened to her lungs and the rest of her body and talked to it with positive words of life and strength. When we are willing to dive into the via negativa, the pain, the shadow, the trouble, the silence, we may find healing for ourselves and for others. Sometimes we get tricked into the dark night experience. The cosmic trickster sometimes guides us into our ultimate good by way of a dark night experience. Reverend Kathy had that kind of experience this week, and we'll share more about that upon her return on Easter Sunday. The etymology of the word mysticism is to enter the mysteries. The truth is that we are all mystics. We just need to take the time to enter the mysteries, the silence, the darkness, to discover our true self and our unlimited capacities. I remember a time several years ago when I was working at a law firm, and it wasn't my dream job by any stretch, but throughout the early years raising my boys, it had paid the bills. And then after several years working in this place, I was there for about 8 years, and a recession hit. And I hadn't done anything wrong, but my job was eliminated due to that recession. I had made friends there. I had grown to rely on that paycheck every 2 weeks. I had come to a place where I was comfortable, and then all of a sudden it was gone. And I didn't have that paycheck anymore. And I had 2 young boys who were depending on me to provide for them. And I wasn't quite sure how that was all going to work out. I felt like the rug had been ripped out from underneath me. But as I look back on that, I realize that had that job never ended, I might have stayed for many more years, possibly still being there today. And I would have missed realizing how much I love teaching. I would have missed coming into a job that I would do even if I didn't get paid for it, because I love to teach. So I needed that job at the law firm to end. I needed to have that painful experience of not being the legal secretary anymore, because I needed to become the teacher. I also think about my marriage to my second husband. I was in a place where I was not my best self in terms of a partnership, but we had purchased a home together. And we had started to raise 3 boys together. And I had come to love the 9 acres of woods that we had. I really enjoyed that space. And in the blink of an eye, that was all gone. And the man I was married to informed me that he was in a relationship with someone else. And frankly, he had not treated my kids that well. It was really time to go. But it was a really tough point in my life. That was one of my dark nights. And For those of you who have never heard Chris and I together, I call him my love. And I don't do that just in place of honey or sweetheart. I do that because he is truly the love of my life. And had I not left my second marriage, I never would have met Chris. I never would have even known that he was there. And I wouldn't have Serena. And I wouldn't know what it means to really have a partnership with someone where everything he does, every choice he makes, he considers me and Serena before he does anything. So that was a blessing that I would not have received had I never left that second marriage. So those are a couple of examples that come to mind when someone asks about dark nights of the soul. So this Holy Week, starting today, let us remember first and foremost to pray in the silence. As we release and cast out that which holds us back, we give birth to a greater divine identity. The final stage of the spiritual journey is resurrection. Do you want to know how to experience your resurrection? You'll have to come to the Easter service next week and find out. Even in the darkest night, there is grace. It is the force that moves us out of the dark tunnel, out of the tomb, out of the birth canal, into a new life. The famous Sufi poet Rumi said, "Don't turn your head. Keep looking at the bandaged place. That's where the light enters you. And don't believe for a moment that you're healing yourself." May you find forgiveness, compassion, and the healing power of grace during this Holy Week. God bless you.
Otherwise, I'd stay seated. This is a song I wrote in the spring 28 years ago. Spring is a big time for us because we celebrate and mark two events. 30 years ago, we got married. After a long dark night in my soul, 28 years ago almost, we got the diagnosis that she had breast cancer. And that began both the dark night of the soul and light of the soul. And the day that we got that diagnosis in early May was a beautiful May day. And we live across from Lake Phelan, and there's a 3-mile trail. And it was one of those 65-degree day May with a slight breeze and bright sunshine. And I went home after that, and I wrote this song. We'll make it through somehow. We'll make it through somehow. Through the dark and through the rain. The sun is bound to shine, though maybe time to time. The clouds may come our way. Seems the darkness is hanging on you.
Seems the sunshine will never burst through.
But love, a light shines so deep within you. And I can tell you true, we'll make it through somehow. We'll make it through somehow. Through the dark and through the rain. The sun is bound to shine, though maybe time to time. The clouds may come our way. Seems this burden is crushing our knees.
Seems that heaven can't hear our pleas.
but God is watching, and here's what you see. Sweet life for you and me. We'll make it through somehow. We'll make it through somehow. Through the dark and through the rain, the sun is bound to shine, though maybe time to time the clouds may come our way. Now you can help in darkness,
Or you can cling to light.
in you there's such a rightness.
It shines out through the night.
We'll make it through somehow. We'll make it through somehow. Through the dark and through the rain, the sun is bound to shine, though maybe time to time the clouds may come our way. Join us now. We'll make it through somehow. We'll make it through somehow. Through the dark and through the rain, the sun is bound to shine, though maybe time to time the clouds may come our way. The sun is bound to shine,
Oh, yes, it's bound to shine.
and it will melt these clouds away. Yes, it will melt these clouds away.
Aren't they wonderful? Thank you for that great song. I didn't know it was that many years ago. 30 years.
Doesn't seem that year.
No, it doesn't. It's like a blink of an eye.
Thank God it feels like that instead of a long, dark night.
Yes. 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 All right. All right. Well, now, this part of the service here is where we bless our offerings. Since we are collecting them live, we invite you to go to our website, unitynorthmn.org, and find that little donation button, QR code, on the homepage, and you can scan that and give your offering there. For those of you in our building, we do have a basket where you could leave your offering at the door as you exit the sanctuary. If you prefer to mail a check, you can send it to our address, and you can find that address on our website as well. So, together, how about we just join me in speaking our offering blessing. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. You have an offering song?
Be joyful in your giving. Be heartfelt in your praise. We are always receiving God's unending grace. Open your heart. Spirit will rise. Love flowing through you will open your eyes to joy that's in the receiver and joy in the giver too. Feel and freely gives today. If we would be his disciples, then we would do the same. If we would be his disciples, we must do the same.
Thank you so much. I'd like to point out, Amy wrote that. Yeah, yeah. 19 years ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. So just lovely. It's just one of my favorite things. I think you debuted it here one time at the old church, right? I think so. You came and it was really nice. At least you shared it with us early on. So it's one of my favorites. All right. So again, thank you to Amy and Adams for all of the wonderful music. I want to thank our producers, Nancy and Tracy back there, for keeping us on track. Rhonda, thank you so very much for giving us our lesson today. Yeah, there we go. Now it's time for community news. Let me go. I got lots of pages here, people. There we go. Our prayer chaplain today is Nancy Helvig. She's also one of our producers, so she's doing double duty. We have a healing facilitator, Julie Hollingsworth, who is here, and so she will be standing in the back there, by the Buddha, the bubbling Buddha, and make sure you sign up so you can get a healing session with her. Let's see here. The Mayflower Sale, Sunday, May 4th, after service. Our annual flower and plant sale is the perfect opportunity to find beautiful flowers and plants to add life to your home, or to find the perfect Mother's Day gift. For Mother's Day is just around the corner, all getting a hint here. And what better way to show you care than a gift that will keep on giving and blooming and bringing joy. The sale will be held right after the Sunday service, okay? And then we've got the party program. It begins on May 18th with Party Sunday. But prior to that, we are extending the deadline for the party submissions forms to Easter Sunday, April 20th. So next Sunday, last time, you could submit your party. I got mine in already. I'm done. So it's go.unitynorthmn.org/party 2025. That's your website. You go there. That's the link for the party submissions. It is on our website, so you can find it. So I have a little quick note here. If you're new to it, this is how it works. Consider hosting a party of your choice between June and November. You pay for the party as your donation, so figure out what is affordable, then title your party, indicate the maximum number of people you can have, the date, time, and cost. Basically, it's kind of like fair market value plus a little bit more since it's a fundraiser. Submit the form and we will combine all of the parties in chronological order, date order, and post on our website and in a booklet. Then on Party Sunday, May 18th, you can buy tickets to any of the parties. And the parties that do not sell out on that day will continue to have tickets available up to the date of each party. That's how that works. It worked out great last year. I had fun. I went to a whole bunch of them. All right, movie night, Good Friday, April 18th. So this coming Friday from 7 to 9:15 p.m. is Son of God. And it has Diogo Morgado. How's that? Did I murder that pretty good? Acclaimed Portuguese actor delivers a great portrayal of Jesus in this powerful and inspirational film. It's perfect for Good Friday and Easter weekend. Please join us. If I remember correctly, it's $5 per person, and the snacks are available for a low offering. Yes, okay. All right. Now we're going to move on to Easter Sunday. 10:30 a.m. we got our service with flower ceremony, and the lesson is Lord of the Dance with Reverend Kathy. We have two musicians, Judy Vinar and Richard, I'm going to say Krein, going with that German pronunciation thing. I hope I'm right. Singer and mandolin artist. And Judy's, we have her all the time, singer and songwriter. So they will be performing. So come to this beautiful service. It's going to have some fabulous music and a powerful flower ceremony. After Easter, potluck lunch. Please sign up. There is a sign-up sheet out in the narthex. And then in that, we're also going to have, or right after we're kind of done eating, drumming with Carl Schlotterbeck. So bring your drums, bring your rattles, and be ready to have a little party there. We do have a lending library. Just a reminder that it is in our social hall between the restroom, the family restroom kind of thing, and then the nursery. There's this little room, and it is wonderful. Check it out. It has an honor system, so we just suggest you bring a book or take a book and return it and borrow another. Or simply borrow a book, or if you have some, just bring some of your own too. Family table drive-through is Thursday, April 24th. If you'd like to help pack and serve the meals, there is a sign-up sheet in the narthex. Otherwise, you can also call Kathleen Bailey or send an email at outreach@unitynorthmn.org for more questions on what we can do to help. So you can also talk to me a little bit. I kind of know about it too. All right. Let's see here. We are ready for our community affirmation slide. Okay. Join me, will you please? Centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. The next thing we have is our prayer for protection, and why don't we stand, because we'll have the peace song right after that. All right. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is welcome. All is well, I'm sorry. I'm so used to the welcome thing. Peace song. Let's just do that peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Oh, I wish to thank everyone for coming today. We have refreshments